Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
Hey everybody, welcome back into the MPGL Asian Championship for 2018. We got a big matchup tonight, Taskus Titans versus Boom ID, the two top teams in Group B. They're going to be going at it, and of course, a lot of really good players, a couple of players that we've known and we've seen for a while. Raging Potato, of course, Bimbo, that's his name that he usually uses. Rior, RR, Skimberloo, James for Taskus Titans, and then Boom ID. Really top-tier Indonesian team coming out and playing really well so far in this tournament, so with that all out of the way, it's 4 a.m. here, Mountain Time, in good old Colorado, and we're here with another 2 series tonight, including this one. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Mont. With me is Brax. How you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling pretty good, Mont. This should be a good series. Both these teams, there's a lot of notable names. These are some good players, for sure.
Yes, and both teams so far in this tournament have played really well. Boom ID, shout-outs to them because Kezcute actually... Kezcute, him and I were talking about we have the same favorite band, aka Streetlight Manifesto, which is really cool. I'll be playing some music to honor that a little bit later. But in terms of the players on this team, I know, right? I'm really...
you got a connection now.
Yeah, I know. It's almost the word I'm looking for. Biasness, even, potentially. You know what that means. But it is going to be Boom ID, probably the top Indonesian team, I would say, at this point, versus, of course, Taskus Titans. Both teams coming in today, it was Group A, by the way, not Group B. I was actually incorrect about that. But it doesn't matter. Both teams sitting at 5 points, which, of course, is the highest point total in Group A. I really need this coffee, Brax. My God.
The point total, Mont. That's right. The highest point total. Agreed.
Oh, my Lord. Anyway, 5 points.
This is a different Task Us Titans team than I've seen from the last time, for sure.
Yes. Let's see.
Much different.
The changes, BDZ was on the team for a long time, up until actually like 10 days ago. And, of course, Fly Solo was also on the team. Now he's with Clutch Gamers as a coach. And there was another former squad, like last year, that was sort of, they had Rior and Abeng, but you know, it's essentially it's a Pinoy organization, as many of these organizations are. And the thing is, I really like a lot of the players on this team. I don't know how much you know Raging Potato or Bimbo as he's known.
Oh, big fan.
Yeah, like he's one of my favorite players to watch. He's not playing core anymore, which is kind of sad. And he used to play mid. Like he had this really sick invoker that he played all the time, or at least he played it a few times, I think. But now he's playing in the support role. He's like 3 different names: Raging Potato, Bimbo, and Jay.
That's right.
The 3 different ones that he goes by. So,
I just wanted to say this guy is completely fearless, no matter what role he plays. He's an absolute madman.
I feel like we've seen that a lot. This even just yesterday, the first game back that we saw, the first series back, or rather, I think of the second series, Execration, Nando. There's some definite fearlessness in this region, which is really good, actually. I like the fact that these teams like fighting. I mean, you go back to that second game, or was it first game? I guess first game yesterday, where they picked Void. It might have been second game. And that one TP, and you and I were just like, what the hell's happening?
Yeah, the games are always interesting, right? And that's why it's so much fun to watch.
Yeah, and I think this game will be no different. But I suppose we should get into the draft. We could talk more about the rankings and stuff like that, the Group A matchups a little bit later. For now, we have the Naga Disruptor, the good old 1-2 combination, the Ensnare, not to mention the Song into Static Storm and Kinetic Field, probably being the most, I would say, one of the most universal combos now, like one of the most picked combos, I would say, currently in Dota, and I think for good reason, too.
Yeah, gives you the team fight, the catch. Naga Siren, super strong in lane, but on the side of Boom ID, Beastmaster. This is a hero that he's pretty decent against this sort of playstyle, right? Like when you have Naga Siren Disruptor, you want that big 5-on-5 team fight. Beastmaster, if he gets ahead, he just excels at playing a split game.
That's very true. And it depends, I guess, on what you build, but he can easily... And you also have Jakiro, too, so they have really good tower push already. Like... And even group up, too, I think, with just these heroes alone at the beginning of the game. So I'm not surprised that they will go for it. Taskus Titans ban out the Warlock, which has been picked a lot by Boom ID, something that they're really comfortable with. Over looking at some of the other heroes they picked for Boom ID that could fit along, they pick a lot of Death Prophet. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for more push and more team fight like they have currently. I know it's tricky fighting into Naga Disruptor, but I think they could do it with something like a Death Prophet later into the draft.
Yeah, Death Prophet's very good. If you already have the Exorcism going, then the Song of the Siren combo initiation on top of you is not that effective. But at the same time, you can use it to disengage. But towers can't run.
No. That would actually be an insane... Think about that type of game mode where towers could just get up and walk away. First of all, just the thought... just the image of that, like a tower, picking himself up and just running somewhere is funny. But it would be very interesting. But no, you're right. They cannot run, and that's very important for these teams, Jakiro and Beastmaster especially. Ooh. And then the Ogre McGee coming out, who has been buffed. The 2 times multicast is now a lot more than it used to be. And I think that's kind of important. This hero, he's picked occasionally, but he doesn't seem as strong as he once was.
I think this hero is pretty underrated, actually. In these lanes, he's very good in duel lanes because he doesn't have that threat of actually dying, right?
Yeah.
With that huge armor and health regens, he can sit there and punch these support heroes forever. And then in duel lanes, when you bloodlust your carry, they can almost solo the lane.
Yeah,
and that's how strong that ability is.
I think Ogre Beastmaster too, giving the Beast... I know it's double melee, which is kind of annoying, but you give the Beastmaster Bloodlust, and he just starts running at people, and it's very frightening, I think. And you're absolutely right, though. The advent of dual laning makes this a lot better for Ogre Magi, because a lot of these supports have trouble, the cores will get farmed, and maybe they'll find last hits, but the supports usually die in some of these lanes, and Disruptor is a good example of that.
Ogre's a hero that can trade with Nagasart, a hero who starts with 7 armor, Tide does 120 damage, and if Ogre happens to be in lane with Disruptor doesn't actually do much to Ogre, right?
Yeah.
He sits there and ignores the harass. But at the end of the day, this hero is literally just a walking bloodlust, and he is extremely boring to play. But, maybe he'll win some games. You can bloodlust your towers too, and if you happen to play around those siege creeps, you can always bloodlust those for tower pushes or Helm of the Dominator creeps.
Yeah, that's true. You have the extra units to work with now, the Ogre Magi Bloodlust. He is a walking Bloodlust, and that's a little sad, But the most exciting aspect of the hero is getting a multicast, which really isn't even that exciting. Even if you get a 4 times, it's really okay, great. I just fire blasted somebody 3 times in a row. Really cool stuff. They did change his GPM talent at level 10 to plus 90, which they should have done a while ago.
Yeah, that's a big one, though. That helps a lot.
Yeah, because he really doesn't farm, right? I mean, he can last hit in lane if you wanted to. We have seen occasionally Core Ogre a long time ago. But in terms of clearing jungle camps and actually getting farm, he's not one of those heroes that can do that like a Naga can. Naga, of course, really good at that. Even Jakiro.
Yep, that's true.
Anyway, that's not important. The Ogre Magi is not really going to get an item anyway. Even if he did, I don't actually know what you buy on Ogre Magi besides arcanes.
Just whatever support item helps your team function, whether it's a Force Staff, Glimmer Cape, Solar Crest, something along those lines.
It feels like I haven't seen an Ogre game in a long time for some reason. I'm sure I have, but I don't know. I'm excited for it.
I also haven't seen Ogre in an extremely long time, but Boom ID pick up the Lifestealer along with the Ogre, so you have Bloodlust, Rage, and of course Beastmaster's Aura to buff up this Lifestealer who has a really good matchup, right? It's picked into the Naga Siren and Disruptor, so you have that magic community. Of course, you can get ensnared, but there's no real physical damage to follow up anyways. It's Gyrocopter and Dragon Knight.
Yeah. And I think Lifestealer is good because he can get on the Gyrocopter and he can just burst him down because Gyro is he's very squishy. You get a Roar plus Lifestealer jumping out, the Gyro is just dead. On the other side, though, they do pick up the DK, which very tanky hero. Of course, he has the armor to deal with. They have no way of really getting the armor off unless they pick up a Silver Edge for Beastmaster, which would be interesting because he does usually go Shadowblade on that hero. But now we're waiting on the mid hero for Boom ID. I suppose they could also do a Jakiro core if they wanted to, but I think at this point they're going to pick a mid. And Kunkka's a good ban against the DK. It's one of those really strong heroes right now because of the cleave, and just because I think Kunkka's in a really good spot too. I really would have liked to seen that from Boom ID, but they're not going to get the option to do it. So,
is In Your Dream still on this team?
Mm-hmm.
Which one is he?
Is he? I think.
Is he Fervian? Is that him?
I think he was playing for a little bit, but then I don't know what
Okay,
happened.
because I remember he was their big Kunkka player.
I think he
played
actually
almost
left.
every game.
Yeah, he went to the Prime ND. That was the team that he went to. I forgot about that.
Oh, okay.
We actually cast the Prime ND a lot in the last. We did the SEA qualifiers for the Super Major, and they did pretty well there. But no, that I got confused by Dream Cell and In Your Dream, but they're not the same person. So my apologies, everybody.
Very confusing for us uneducated casters.
It's true. By the way, Dream
We
Cell
can't
is
keep up with the
Fervian.
memes. Okay.
So that's
who I thought he was.
Yeah, so that's important. Of course, he's there. The FBZ and Dreamacell, aka Fervian, they kind of switch the 1 and 2 roles a lot. So both can play mid, both can play safe lane. Darkseer, last pick for Task's Titans, I think pretty good.
This is some flashback to the past. Darkseer, Dragon Knight, Gyrocopter. This was like a TI3 core combo.
It's 100% TI3.
I played this.
That's how you know it's a flashback. Back in the day, dude. All the way back to TI3.
Okay, so this is very interesting. I mean, Darkseer. Oh, Jesus. Invoke the Wizard. He's got a no mana cost Invoke mod.
Yeah, that's it. That hero's broken now. It's that one change. That's all they needed.
He's back. The Magician.
He's going to be casting a boatload of spells. God, Cataclysm is so dumb, honestly. Especially, like, I was playing a turbo game and I'm playing Weaver. And you take your eyes off the map or eyes off the regular screen for like 1 second, and they just die because Cataclysm comes out, and you're just like, well, I guess I can't go anywhere. See ya.
It's so nice when you have a hero like Beastmaster. Like, Roar pushes all the units away from you, too. So those 2 Sunstrikes are going to deal the maximum amount of damage on whoever, whoever gets focused.
Yeah, it's true. I do like that Beastmaster Invoker combo. Once you get the level 6 in the Beastmaster, like, it's so easy to find kills with Roar into Sunstrike. It's like the easiest thing in the world. And there's not really anything they can do about it, right?
Yep, it's true. These 2 heroes complement each other so well because Beastmaster is really good against these carries that don't want to build Lincoln Sphere, that, rely on BKB, like the Gyrocopter, like the Dragon Knight. And then it promotes a split push style game. Because Beastmaster can heavily pressure these side lanes. He threatens heroes in front of him. Invoker wants the exact same thing. He wants a lot of time. And then you can always complement the Beastmaster gank with that Sunstrike. And usually that is the damage needed to actually secure the kill. Because Beastmaster without, a Necro 3, for example, or Shadow Blade, something like that, to actually give him some extra damage, it's not enough to secure a kill.
Yeah. So you have that extra bit of damage to work with. I'm just going to say right now, this is going to be one battling game. Like Jarrow DK versus Lifestealer, Beastmaster, all that stuff. There's a lot of team fight. There's a lot of pick-off. There's still a decent amount of pushing for both teams, where more so for the Task's Titan, or excuse me. Actually, they both are really good pushing because they DK on the rating team, but it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure who to... I don't know who to think is going to win this game just based off the draft alone. I think it's actually a pretty close draft.
Yeah, I think Task's Titans have a pretty good laning advantage. Like, this Darkseer Nagasarian lane is going to be able to pressure Lifestealer a lot. They may not kill him, but you can't just casually rage every time the shell comes at you.
Yeah, so that's true.
You'll be able to exert a lot of pressure there. And honestly, both these teams really come down to how much they can get from the offlane. Like, if Beastmaster has a good lane phase, gets that early level 6 with phase woods, all of a sudden, this Gyrocopter can't lane. And it's not like Gyrocopter can make a rotation top to the Lifestealer, right, because of the rage. So he can gank him, but he's really not going to accomplish anything.
Yeah. I have to think that Lucas is going to have a pretty good time in this game, and that's got to be the linchpin like you were talking about. And then once he gets his first item, whether it's like a Shadow Blade or a Necro, they can start taking fights more aggressively. But
yep.
The Invoker, he's not the kind of hero that requires, you don't have to sit back and get your Midas as much as you used to, because the tome being available, like, Midases are being built less often. But he still does take some time to be useful.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if the Invoker builds are still the same, with like an Aghanim Scepter, but Midas into the Aghanim Scepter.
Oh, that's an Iron Shell. It's time to run. Kescute's dead. He's got to be careful.
They're just getting clicked.
Yeah, Dream of Cell needs to back up. This Riptide, it's so dangerous. Already this lane, and I wanted to talk about this, but Naga Darkseer is really strong because of this. Like, you just run in with the Riptide's really good in the Divine Shell on top of the Naga and the Darkseer. You can just run at them and they die, even with like Rage. And you were mentioning earlier, like, it's not going to keep them alive because the Rage cooldown is so long.
Yep, they'll eventually get whittled away by the Ion Shell damage, but this lineup from Boom ID is entirely based around Beastmaster having a good game. because he needs to be the one that creates space. And for that to happen, he needs to have a fantastic lane phase where he hits 6 early, but he's kind of set up to do that. I mean, look at this aggression down bottom behind the tower, just pushing back these heroes.
He Whirling Axed the creep wave, I guess just to get some extra damage and push into the tower faster so it pushes out, theoretically. Is the only reason I can think of, because already the creep equilibrium is way in favor of the Radiant for now. But it is going to push. Maybe that's what they were trying to do.
Yep. It's good for them to keep on pushing it into the tower and just harassing them over and over.
That's
They've got
true.
a ton of mangoes, so they're just going to spam them forever.
Yeah, you forget that they have a really good harassing type of team. And the Whirling Axes, the new, not new, but the hot build for Beastmaster. Whirling Axes being very strong. Very excited to see what they can do in this game. Already the DK 6 last hits against FBZ, and this will probably continue until FBZ gets more levels in the Exhort, I would assume. I mean, this matchup is not one that we see that often anymore because Invoker doesn't really exist in this meta.
That's true. I mean, we've forgotten this guy was a hero, honestly. He hasn't been in Dota for a long time in pro games.
Yeah, and I think for good reason. The hero just, I don't know. There's something about him. But Skimperloo will get run at bottom. I don't know. What do you think about the DK Invoker matchup?
Well, DK is a lot more resilient nowadays than he used to be, right? With the more points in Dragon Blood, being a strength hero, gets extra health regen. I think it's totally fine. Eventually, Invoker will get to like that level, 5, 6, where he does more damage than DK, even through the Quelling Blade, but he's just going to get spammed forever, so.
Yeah.
Both heroes are fine.
Yeah, they'll both farm for sure, but yeah, getting to that next couple levels of Exhort for FBZ is going to be critical. There's also a double damage rune top that he, I think, might see. He does. He's going to go grab it.
He sees it.
So that's going to be really big. Now, he does have to fight into the Soul Ring, though, which, of course, very good item. DK getting tankier and having some extra damage and all that stuff. Top lane, though, I thought this Lifestealer would have a tougher time. He's up to 11 last hits. Of course, the Darkseer is free farming, as you would expect him to, getting all the last hits with his Iron Shell. But for now, the laning phase is about equal, I would say. I mean, the one thing is the Beastmaster is a little behind, but now he's going to start catching up, it looks like, as the Gyrocopter is going to have to get a little too far up in order to CS there.
Yep, they traded a lot of time to just harass. They invested a lot of time just to keep on hitting the enemy team, to get them down low so there's some sort of pressure in the lane, which is good. You need to do that early against the Gyrocopter so that you can actually take over the lane. Darkseer is a hero that, because he pushes the creeps into the tower over and over, he doesn't actually deny last hits a lot of the time. Yeah. But what he does is he secures his own.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And I think it's fine if they give Lifestealer farm, until he gets Radiance, he's gonna not have the most net worth anyways. Like, unless he gets off to a really good start, which he might with a kill here. But that is first blood going to Rio. And actually, I think he's dead. Oh boy. I think Dream of Cell is good. Yeah, a good salve, but
2 seconds.
They're not gonna chase him, I don't think. They have a mango and stick charges, but they're not gonna go for it. But that is still first blood, so a little too aggressive from Boom ID there, I think.
Yeah, interesting. Darkseer still choosing to go for the Helm of the Dominator up against the Lifestealer. Usually, personally, I don't favor it because you can just infest the creep and then you cash out, and then it's hard to actually use the Dominator creep to pressure, but maybe it'll work out. I guess there is a lot of synergy, right, with Darkseer and Helm of the Dominator creeps, especially the Centaur, for example.
Yes, that's true. The Iron Shell running in, getting off a nice Centaur Conqueror Stomp. What is the cooldown for the Dominate? 60 seconds? Okay, well, that's not that bad. It's still kind of annoying, though, if you get your Helm creep just killed through Infest, but it's not the end of the
world. It's a lot of gold, especially if it's like a siege creep, right?
That's true.
That's like the main goal.
Yeah, it's more so that you're just giving the gold away to the Lifestealer instead of, you losing your creep. It's not the end of the world in that regard, but... anyway, it's a 1k lead at 4 minutes into the game. There is an Invis rune for the Disruptor. He has level 1 Glimpse. I don't think they're going to be able to get the kill, just the 2 of them alone, but they're going to try. They'll spam the homing missile first, and they'll glimpse him back. They have a lot of damage with Rocket Barrage. Axis will come. He's got stick charges. Thunderstrike's still going. He was thinking about going back in. A little dangerous, though, against the Thunderstrike. So, yeah, that's the issue. Like, Beastmaster's pretty tanky, and I thought that they weren't going to be able to get the kill with just the 2 of them, and that was correct.
Yep, and it's Shrine time, too. It's about to hit 5 minutes. Banner runes are coming out, but, alright, they're pushing back Jakiro down bottom, so they're going to be able to secure that one at least. Oh, Sunstrike.
Oh, my God. He missed the Liquid Fire. That's depressing.
He's got Dual Breath in 2 seconds.
He's going to get the kill, though. Yeah, Dual Breath and 1 auto attack, and he might actually get to the Shrine. The Fairy Fire. Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
And now Yoakum's dead. Oh, that was so close. That would have been huge for him.
He didn't even have to use the Shrine, too, so James TP's in, and then he gets the Shrine as well.
Very efficient nice. Shrine. maximum efficiency. Meanwhile, the net onto the Ogre Magi, who's, you know, taking more damage than you would expect, but it's Iron Shell and the Riptide coming out and the auto attacks. He will be fine. He'll get back to his tower, plus he has the double mangoes to regen with. He's doing pretty well, but there's a slight lead for Taska's Titans. DK's still top in the net worth. Invoker's a little close to him. The Darkseer is second because he gets all the CS in the world. And they're going to find the kill on the Beastmaster finally down bottom. Skimberloo comes in with Rocket Barrage, level 2 homing missile. As long as they have the kinetic field, they can find that kill even with a dive and no TP rotations. And
Alright, DK bombs still mid, but alright, TPs are coming out. It should be okay.
they don't have Ice Path. They do have Dual Breath. They rotate in the Disruptor. They cancel the TP. They actually might kill Jakiro here. Glimpse comes out. Yoakum actually walks out of the kinetic field. He's probably fine now. Cold Snap
This is
hit.
the level 5 Beast, level 4 Beastmaster TP. Okay.
And that's not going to do anything. You know, he's just going to run down bottom. I mean, it's a little time wasted. It's not the end of the world. Now top, they're going to find the Darkseer. So finally getting involved. Boom ID get on the board with a kill. They will take some damage from the tower hits, but he's fine either way. He has Infest coming up pretty soon. Now January getting, or James, excuse me, getting cold snapped. They should have a Sunstrike. He does, but it's a tricky hit, and I don't think it would be close at this level of Sunstrike. Yeah, it wouldn't be enough damage, especially with Jamesy regenning up as well. So both offlaners, you know, well, speaking of which, Luca's probably dead to Skimberloo. Nobody TPing in. Sunstrike?
Sunstrike?
Oh my god, that is... Gyrocopter, like, he doesn't have phase boost and he still feels fast. It's kind of ridiculous, actually.
This man flies one. Of course he's fast.
Yeah, that's true, but that's one of those kills where if you're in the... I would be... If I'm that Invoker, I'm just complaining about how stupid Gyrocopter is. Even though it's not necessarily the Gyro's fault. They will get the Yoakum, like... And then that kill doesn't happen if they kill him with the Sunstrike, so you're even more tilted now as the Invoker. At least I would be.
Oh, yeah. The whole chain reaction's playing out now, Mott.
Tilt Central. So going back to your original point about the Beastmaster getting off to a good start, that's not happening at all.
No, those deaths are crippling. And look at his levels as a result of that. That's where he's really suffering,
Yeah.
right?
You know, if he's level 6 now, they could have gotten a couple of easy kills with these Sunstrikes. Doesn't happen. He needs desperately to get that experience. 7 minutes and 53 seconds into the game, and the Darkseer sitting at level 6, so he's already 2 levels ahead of the Beastmaster. Treads are now up on the DK. He gets even harder to kill. They will find a double damage rune for FBZ. Oh, he could have taken that, I think. I'm surprised he denied it. I guess he doesn't have Wex move speed, so... There's going to be an Ensnare along with the DK stun, so actually FBZ's in some trouble. Again, no Wex, so he doesn't have Ghost Walk, but he might be fine anyway. Homing Missile comes out, Rocket Barrage coming in, a lot of damage. Good rotation from Skimberloo. Even if they don't get a kill here, it's still a lot of pressure being applied, and they have to back up. This is a bit of a dive. Now they're running from behind. They have the Beastmaster, but again, he's not level 6 yet. Dual Breath comes out, Axe is coming through, and they actually are going to push them back, surprisingly enough.
Okay, so huge commitments from both teams, but I don't know. I still... This game can't feel good for Boom ID, right? Like, look at their heroes. Invoker, this man's never going to leave the mid lane. You know what I mean? He's never going to make some sort of rotation to create space on the map. Lifestealer, same thing. He's going to be stuck here in this lane up against the Ion Shell creeps. And then Beastmaster is almost level 6, but you have to deal with this super high level Gyrocopter in your face all the time who gets another solo kill.
Okay, I was watching top, but apparently they're just killing people. Now Fervian's going to die as well. He has to rage and try to open wounds. He's going to get ensnared, though. He actually does have Infest. He needs some help. His teammates are coming. And he does get inside the creep and actually infests out of it, and now they have to back up. And Fervian, this is maybe the only time I've ever seen... Well, not the only time, but it's very rare to see an SEA player go for, Radiance first. But yeah, he's on that train.
Usually we always see the armlet into some other damage items coming out, right?
Yeah.
Feels like every single time.
Not this time, though. Oh, God, can you stop killing people? Skimberloo, please? I'm trying to watch top here. Well, this Ogre might die, but now maybe it's Rior instead. He has no mirror images. Good Fire Blast as the Surge comes out. Good Vacuum. They're going to try to turn. This Kescute's dead. Surge is down, but Fervian cannot chase, and he might be dead too. They need some TPs. Ensnare, this is a bit of a dive. They should have the Beastmaster Roar. They don't. They actually do not. He's literally a creep away from Roar. I don't even know if he would have been close enough to get it anyway, but like...
Yeah, he wasn't close enough, but I mean, it's just telling of how this game's going for him, you know? Like, he just hit his level 6 at 10 minutes into the game, has to TP, or feels inclined to TP there, and this is the guy that can actually, he's the only one on the map that can make a move, right? Jakiro, Ogre, these guys don't have reliable setup at all. It's very slow, very clunky. Maybe he can actually make a play mid because James wants to chip away at this tower and he's pretty low.
This could be big. Does he have level 6 yet? He does. All right, that didn't work out. He needs a Shadow Blade, and he knows it. He's going to try to get to that, but it's going to be a long time. Awkward FBZ.
It's the run. Yeah, there we go.
They've got the Roar. They need the Sunstrike. They don't have it. So that Roar does nothing for them. They get the deny on the tower, I suppose, but now can they run? They have Glimpse back, I think. Sunstrike? Not enough. The Axes? Oh my god, you've got to be kidding.
Ignite?
He is ignited, but they will trade instead of getting the kill 1 for nothing. And now they get a Static Storm. They need to be careful. Naga not 6 yet. Needs to be careful. A lot of damage from FBZ. 1-for-1 trade, and again, the tower deny really good for Boom. Now James is going to get meatballed. The Dragon Tail comes out. He's a little too aggressive here. He's dead. That is a huge kill. They had Skimberloo coming in, but it was a little too late. He pops the drum charge, and Lucas is going to be probably fine. Yeah, he's good. He is absolutely fine, and Boom ID finally turned it around, getting something going here for this team, but they're still pretty far behind with that tower going out. And now Yokum finds himself in a pretty rough position. Good Tornado. They're going to look for the Axes, but Rior is going to be able to make it out. With the Cold Snap on him, it had the Axes hit. Then maybe they get that kill, but they did not. And still a pretty good game, though, for Taskus Titans.
Yeah, it's still good indeed. 3,000 gold lead at 12 minutes, so... Huh. You know, they are waiting for this big Radiance, right, on the side of Boom ID. Like, that's also a lot of net worth not being used. So it's a 3,000 gold lead with 3,000 gold in the Bank of Life here, right? So they're down a whole bunch of items at the moment.
Provision's dead.
Yep.
Maybe unless he can get an Infest off. Nah. So that's all that gold is just now sitting in his inventory. He loses some of it. He won't be able to farm. He's going to lose his tier 1 tower as well. And they're doing exactly what they need to do for Taskus Titans. Taking towers, taking fights. This is before Naga Song, which they should have now. He just got level 6, but he's not there, of course. But there's
Want this lineup from, yep, FBZ. There's the rocket from behind as well. Oh boy.
He is dead. He's very dead. Very, very dead. Anyway, what were you saying?
I was just going to say, this lineup from Boom ID doesn't look like a Southeast Asian team lineup. Do you know what I mean? This looks like some North American garbage.
It
where
definitely
you've got
does.
3 farmers.
Yeah, they're just trying to find all of their farm. Usually in teams of like SEA, like we saw yesterday, it's just they have a couple, like 2 farmers maybe, and then like 1 initiator. Somebody that can actually have fast-paced action. That's really not happening for Boom ID. I mean, they're getting close to Shadowblade for Beastmaster. Once they get that item, I think that might almost be bigger than, you know, any other item coming out. Sans Radiance. Like, I think it's a really big item for them to actually find these fights going their way for Boom ID.
Yep, that is the only item that they're currently working towards that's going to make them able to do something on the map. But the gold is getting steeper and steeper, so I don't know. Unless he whips out 1,000 gold out of nowhere, it's rough.
Yeah, they're down 5k now after the loss of the Invoker. I mean, they do have good like high ground. They have good team fight. You know, they've got good picks if they can get to that point. But for now, there's just constant pressure on their lanes from Taskus Titans. And they have a lot of map control, too. And there's that Helm of the Dominator creep going down.
That's the donation. Okay, so he does that to bait out the Infest. Now they can surge in James and actually get this kill onto him.
But it looks like he's going to back. He might know.
He wants to farm.
Oh, this is so dangerous. He's going to get vacuumed. He needs a... Nah, he couldn't get it off. Furby should be dead. Yep.
Very nicely done.
So, that's... I know you have to farm, and I know, like... the thing is, they could have sat behind him with the supports, or they could have done anything else. I don't know. I'm not sure what you do in that situation, actually. You gotta farm somewhere. Yeah.
Well, 4,000 gold. It went down 1,000, you know, making progress. Beastmaster only 1,000 gold away from Shadowblade. Invoker halfway to Ags, but Ags change anything? I don't think it does.
Not really. You need that plus another item before you're actually useful on Invoker. That and levels as well. And he doesn't have Midas. This is what we were talking about. So he has not got that experience advantage. You know, he's like... Usually Invoker's
so
ahead.
Goes for like the... goes to the laning items instead of the farming items, right? 2 Knolls, 1, instead of just the hand of Midas that we usually see.
Yeah. So, I mean, whether or not Invoker with Midas, without Midas, whatever you feel about that set of items, that's what he's going for this game. You know, this is one of those things where you're like, you think that you have all of this stuff for the Invoker, like an early Ags and, you know, not going for the Midas, not wasting your money. You think you could fight earlier. That isn't really necessarily true in this game. I mean, he has kind of fought earlier, but did they just smoke an award? No.
Yep, it's smoke time. Well, that was their award, so they're okay. They need to fight. But then if they do fight, you're fighting into Song of the Siren, right? If you don't find Naga,
yeah, you need Naga.
If you use the Roar and then get Song, you're set up to lose the fight.
They know where she is now. Riora has been spotted, but they cannot find her. There's pretty much no way. And they probably know that Boom ID or Smoke, considering where Fervian's positioned. And this is just so hard to fight into. Like, Naga's just going to Song as soon as there's a fight that goes anywhere near his bet. Like, if it starts going poorly at all, they could just Song or back, and then Song and re-engage. Yep. Or they could just leave now if they don't, like, want to get caught out. They might
the thing
do
is,
that.
You can't commit too heavily onto a target on Taskus Titans, because if you do, then you can Song into the Static Storm, into a call down, right? You set yourself up. You bait yourself into a team fight you have no business winning.
Yes, exactly. And it's like, again, it's not like they're going to find this Naga. As long as Riora is positioned somewhat effectively, it's not going to be a fight that's going to go well. You know, they could try pushing them off the tower, which is what they're doing currently, but Song actually to initiate, but that's 2 right there. They need an Ice Path. They'll drop the Static Storm.
Heroes.
The TP is so long from the Jakiro that it doesn't matter. They're already dead. It's 2 down. They'll try to get Skemberlu. You know, Lifestealer's going to get rooted, though, and that's the end of the fight. They also glimpsed back the Jakiro, who was bottom. The TP took too long. They lose 3 heroes. Honestly, that just feels like the game. I know it's not, but especially if they lose Fervian, then it really is going to feel over.
You know why it feels so bad? Because they have a lineup that can't fight, and they try to fight. So not only do they lose out on, like, over a minute and a half of farm time, but they fought a fight that had no business winning. So they feed not only tower gold, of course, but tons of kills too.
Yeah.
It just gets worse and worse, right? Maybe if they don't take that fight, they keep on splitting, wait for Lifesteal's Radiance, who he is very close to, then, you know, maybe they have a better chance. But now, because of that, there's just a 6,000 gold lead. How do you fight these heroes? It's not even close.
I'm not sure you can. They're trying. The Lucas might just die if he's not careful. Good Sunstrike? Not really. RR is going to run. He's got a Surge. He's already used it aggressively, actually, defensively onto his Gyrocopter. That's the best fight they could get, and they almost lost Yokum for it. The Glimpse comes back out, actually, with the Kinetic Field on Lucas. That was a little awkward. Raging Potato.
Just teasing him.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to get you. Just kidding. I mean, the signs for the competitiveness of this game for Boom ID are there. It's not like the game is completely over yet. But it just feels like there is so much they have to do in these fights in order to win them.
Yep. Luckily for Boom ID, they're about to hit a ton of items, right? Beastmaster, 150 away from Shadowblade. Invoker just picked up the Aghanim Scepter. Lifestealer's just finished Radiance as well. So that's 3 big items on each core hero.
Yeah.
So, good news for them.
And it's not like the Gyro is going BKB first, which I think actually could be a mistake this game. Cold Snap under Rior cancels the TP. This could be another big kill. He has mirror images, but he's getting stun locked with the Cold Snap. He will get it off. The Meatball's going to go, and it actually misses. Not that it matters. I think he's dead anyway. He should be. They even drop a ward aggressively for it. Speaking of the Gyrocopter Axe, he has it finished. Jamesy's running in. They're going to find Fervian, and that's a Static Storm, and he's dead. He just needs a way to survive against the Static Storm, and he just doesn't have it. Glimpse comes out. He's got a Rage. He has open wounds. He needs help. His team they already backed up. And I don't know if he's going to make... He needs to infest, and he will. Lucas, they can go. FBZ's too aggressive. He gets the Ghost Walk off. Gyrocopter, can they turn on him? The Sunstrike, it's going to be close. They missed it! How did you miss it? How did you miss it? Oh, my. They still get the kill, it looks like, but they could have kept the Lifestealer and the Beastmaster alive. Instead, James is going to clean this up. You know, Kezcute will die. Jokum's going to die. It's going to be an Ultra kill, probably. Well, that was nice for Yokum, at least. He got a double kill. And he's juking pretty well, too. You just get an Ice Path, and you can win. Ice Path... Oh, he doesn't have TP. Well, that sucks. Good luck. They do have another hero rotating down. It is FBZ, but he's super low. And Jamesy just Shadow Blades out. Okay. That could have been a lot worse for Boom ID, but I don't know. That Sunstrike, that should have hit. I'm sure of it, right? Maybe I'm overreacting, Brax, but...
No, you're right. It is like it's a 3-second stun, right? There's a whole bunch of time to set it up, but I think he had some nonsense in front of his face. He was trying to survive, so
yeah, that's
didn't
true.
come out in time.
It's when you see that happen, your team's so far behind. You kill the gyrocopter, who is second in net worth, and essentially the fight goes way differently. You know.
Yeah, but well, they made some good plays there. Right?
Yes.
You have the Infest from Lifesteal into the Invis Beastmaster, and then they managed to extend the fight. They did end up kind of trading back and forth, but it's still good. You know, they're showing some signs of life.
They're going to try to go on Lifestealer, it looks like, maybe? Well, rather, Rior is going to be the one going on, but he just mirror images off the open wounds. Nothing he can do about that. They're all rotating top. This could be dangerous for one team or the other. They do have detection. They drop a sentry. Lucas is in trouble. He needs to get the roar off. He's dead. He waited too long. And you kind of, when you're running in close to the tower like that, you have to expect some detection is going to be down. He gets a little too aggressive. He dies for it. Not the end of the world, but Fervy immediately TP's bottom. He's going to go for a split push while he tries to build up the Solar Crest. But this will lead into Roshan for Taskus Titans, which is really big. Because not only do they have BKB on the DK, but they'll have Aegis on Gyrocopter. And then this game gets a whole lot easier for them, I think.
Yep, these are the items you need to actually siege higher ground. Darkseer has Crimson Guard working on a pipe, so makes their team fight even stronger. Oh man, yep. These are the times they need 10-second BKB, hop onto the Dragon Knight, so I imagine just give the Aegis to Gyrocopter.
Yes, exactly.
And good to go.
And they also have a Crimson Guard too, which they just finished up pretty recently, which is a huge item. You know, there is a lot of magical damage, don't get me wrong, especially the Lifesteal with Radiance and the Invoker, of course. But Crimson Guard is still going to be really good against this Lifestealer.
Yeah, for sure.
So I was concerned the Gyrocopter didn't go for like Phase Drum BKB, you know, in this type of game, but now that he has Aegis, it feels like it's probably fine because he'll be able to get enough gold, I think, in the meantime in order to get to the BKB. Should be okay.
So what can Boom ID do, Mont? We have the Aghanims up on Invoker, but that doesn't really mean anything. It's his, it's like him completing boots or something, right? It doesn't feel like it's a big game changer. It's cool, it's nice, but that's about it.
I mean, he needs like a Yules or a Blink. He's going to be building into BKB Blink. I'm not sure which one he gets first, but there's the song, and it might not matter. And they're going to find him.
Who do they see?
And he's dead. That's the end of it. They're going to try to turn. The Lifesteal's coming in. Yokum now. All right, there's no turning happening in this fight. It's just not happening.
Not at all. It's so nice with the Darkseer to combo it up too, right? Even if they're not directly next to each other, you can still suck them in with the vacuum. Yes. Very, very easy to execute.
Yeah, it's just they have this, they have a game plan, they have good team fight, they have good synergy, they know how to use it, and now they're going to utilize this DK hero. Once he has his ultimate, he just pushes towers. They have no buyback on Yokum. They have Glyph. They don't want to buy back on the Invoker. If he buys back, he might just lose the game anyways. They might just give up this Rax. I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't see them being able to fight. They need more time. But I don't see them getting back into this game.
No.
Fighting, you know?
They had a couple good opportunities before the BKB on the DK came out, but I think that time has come and gone. They're going to roar onto the DK, but again, he has BKB, so he's probably fine. Tornado comes out. They have the call down. Glimpse back into Lucas. He'll die. He doesn't buy back. He might need to use it. He's going to hold on. Skemberloo, that's Aegis. But I don't know if they can do anything else. Jamesy's so damn tanky, they can't do anything about this. He's going to finally pop the BKB. Dual Breath comes out. Now Kesq has to back up. Sunstrike, it is going to hit, and this might actually get them the kill on Skemberloo, which is nice. They don't even buy back on the Beastmaster, so they hold for now. RR getting chased down, but he has the Surge. Static Storm.
Oh, the combo.
It misses. It's actually onto Yoka, but that's the only one. And he's still alive for now. Not much longer, though. Fire Blast onto Jamesy. They have the Spirit Vessel. Really good item. Breathe Fire does bring him down, but the Tornado, they need to get this kill. I think they did Surge him, and they're going to find it. That is the top net worth hero getting dropped.
My goodness.
And they're taking the fight, and it's a smart call from Titans to just TP out immediately, and that might actually keep them alive. RR had like one last Surge left. He actually has two. The Open Wounds comes out at a pretty good time, but Surge lasts so freaking long. Are you kidding?
Yeah. Oh, the Sunstrike.
It does hit. That one, all right, FBZ makes up for the Sunstrikes earlier in the game by hitting that one, and now they can transition this into a tier 1 tower. Or at least maybe attempt to.
All right, Mott. What happened? They took the Rax, but Gyrocopter without a BKB just gets locked down forever.
See,
and
yes. This is exactly the issue I was talking about.
Yep. Jesus. The you know when they turn with the vacuum into the Static Storm?
Yeah.
If they would have communicated that a bit better, I think they wipe them.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you're absolutely right. But it was just a little too late. God, the respawn times are so ridiculous.
Yep.
It's just FBZ is already like he's dead, you know. Yeah, Furbian's probably dead too. They get a little too greedy. Lucas is going to die if he's not careful. There's no buyback on this freaking Lifestealer. That's your big hero, and now they will definitely take Rax. Oh,
and
man.
it goes right back the other way, just like that, Mont.
It's like you take one step forward and 2 steps back just immediately.
Pretty much.
That's
That's what happens when they actually get their team fight combo off.
I don't know how that Gyrocopter's not dead for longer. I guess he did die very early on in that fight, so yeah, I guess that's the reason. You could have called it back if you're Boom ID, but then they just DK ulti and go for another fight anyway. They're going to take top Rax. They'll TP bottom against Lucas. And there's not really any way they can fight, again, with no Lifestealer for 12. So it's going to be 2 sets of Rax down. And they're just losing too much. You know, this gold lead, had they not taken all these buildings, would probably only be like 5k. But it just feels like every time they take a step forward, they can't get anything else done with it.
Whew. And this is even before Gyrocopter's BKB, right? Like, good luck bursting DK or Gyrocopter. I mean, Roar is good, don't get me wrong, but that is also set up for Taskus Titans, right? That's the key for Darkseer to surge himself in, run in, cast the vacuum, or Nagasarin to try to sleep to disengage.
Yeah.
It's very clear-cut what's going to happen after the Roar. You know, it's not like there's a whole bunch of disables where you don't have to commit super hard. If you use the Roar, you're committing pretty much no matter what.
Yeah, and I think because of this Nagasiren, I think that they're probably going to ban this hero next game, I would assume. Just because of how much they're struggling against it. Maybe even the DK, but they could probably just get a better matchup, to be honest. The Gyrocopter has his BKB, and they killed him when he didn't have it. Now he does. Lucas, and he
gets the BKB off.
Yeah, but that's going to be a Sunstrike. The Song disengage. A lot of damage being taken by Bimbo. That's FBZ's BKB, and they're not going to get either of those kills, which is pretty depressing.
Gyro lives.
Tornado will kill the Disruptor, but Lucas is dead on the back lines. The Spirit Vessel of Gyrocopter, he might actually die. He does have 7 stick charges. Yeah, all right. Now Rior. This is probably the best fight they can take. You know, fighting outside the base, Rior's going to die. RR is really tricky to catch, especially considering he has a Blink Dagger. And I thought once the Gyro gets that BKB off, I thought the fight ends. That was not the case. They actually take another really good fight for Boom ID.
Jakiro sniped him. He bump faked the ice path, happened to land at the second time, and that was very nicely done.
That was pretty MVP performance from that Jakiro. Because I thought that Skimperloo was going to get out of that somehow.
Yeah, I thought once the Gyrocopter lived, they'd be able to just pull back, you know, fully disengage. But they tried to use Static Storm, go for the combos, but Invoker, 10-second BKB, Lifestealer got the rage off, so not much happened there afterwards.
Yeah, that 10-second BKB was critical for FBZ. Even if he misses the meatball there, it's still enough that he could stay alive and get some extra dishes out in terms of his auto attacks. DK purchases the SNY. We've seen really farmed DKs, and we saw one yesterday, and they still lost the game because they went for more tankability than damage. But I think it's fine this game. You already have the damage with the Gyrocopter, and he's going to have an AC pretty soon as well. So he's pretty farmed with this DK. He is the big issue. Killing the Gyrocopter has proven to be not that big of a deal if they can get the Roar off. But we'll see. I mean, they have a long way back into this game. I mean, it is 7k, which is not that much, but it's really the buildings that are going to be the biggest issue. And we'll see if they can't find one bottom. Maybe a smoke? They did smoke. And I think they know that they smoked too.
Oh, they happen to use the Crimson Guard super early, though, so they won't have that for the fight.
This is a little dangerous. Yoakum, they're going to find everybody. James is going to try to find initiation. They might just want to leave if this Ogre dies.
Yep, looks like a full retreat from Boom ID.
Oh, that's really
They
bad.
get the glimpse.
He
Oh, but
BKB'd
he
it?
BKBs.
Good,
Okay,
good. I was really concerned he was not going to make it out, but he BKB'd perfectly. Usually, if the glimpse was just a second earlier, I think he dies or something. I don't know. It would have been close. Anyway, he does get out. He has to use his 9-second BKB, whatever. Not a big deal. And they force everybody bottom, but they're going to just immediately push into the tier 1 and probably take the tier 2 once the wave gets there.
Oh, but look at this from Jakiro down bottom. He actually
Nice.
macro-pyres the
Macro
quick
pyre.
wave, so very nice. They don't have a wave to work with.
The one is coming. It's going to be a while, but they can... I don't think you set up to defend this, especially because your Hawk is now down. Jakiro is just... I thought he would have left, but now the Darkseer vacuums... I would assume vacuums him. He does. And Yoakum will not make it out. But I think it's fine.
That's Sphinx creation right there. Very worth it.
He's still alive somehow. Not for long, but... Not the end of the world. He's down for 50. He does have a buyback, of course. Roshan, next respawn up in 1:30. Very important timing window for both of these teams. Fervian's SNY, I believe, flying out of the courier right now. An AK lead for Titans, a lot of which coming from the DK and some pretty farm supports. And I don't know, I guess we're just looking for next item for Boom ID. They almost have the Blink Dagger for the Invoker, but of course he needs to have surplus from the buyback, which is close to. And once he has that, this game gets a whole lot easier for Boom, I think, with FBZ hitting some really good spells.
Yep. This game, it took such a weird turn. Like, 2 racks is a gigantic lead, right? Having 2 sides of an open base, but a 9,000 goal lead at 31 minutes into the game is not insurmountable by any means. The biggest problem is going to be when Roshan comes in.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to be able to have that map control to even contest Roshan. And that's where it gets super, super scary, because all Taskus Titans have to do is play the map. They just have to sit back, keep these lanes out, and just wait for the next Roshan to spawn.
Yeah, and they still have the gem, of course, on RR. If they could have gotten that gem for Boom ID, I think they get a little bit more map control, but they have, like, the wards they have are deep inside the enemy jungle, which is good because it does tell you, okay, are they bottom, are they farming the jungle? They're not on Roche, of course. They can see that now. And if they can get a gank or two, maybe they can actually do something with it. But it looks like Jamesy and Bimbo are going to back themselves up. The Darkseer does not walk past the ward, so he can't de-ward them. Maybe they find Jamesy? They do see him, but he Shadow Blades out immediately, and they know. Dream Lucas blinked in. That was a little too aggressive. He probably should have just Shadow Bladed. That's awkward.
All right, well, Boom ID, they're leaving the base, attempting to make plays, but look at top lane. Someone's going to have to go back and answer this pretty soon, and then now they're in the dark when Roshan spawns, right? It actually was an instant respawn. They don't know that. Actually, they do know that.
They know now. They have the Sunstrike ability, so they've kind of they have to deal with top, but they also need a way to take this Roche fight. But as soon as the Beastmaster shows himself top, they're 90% likely to either smoke and go for a kill or try to get into the Roche pit. I would assume, anyway.
It's also they have to deal with the, like, how can you contest Nagasart and Darkseer in the Ocean?
That's another good point.
It's so difficult.
And that's another reason why I would think they're going to ban Naga next game. If this game goes awry, even if it doesn't go awry, they're going to ban it either way. But
there are a couple heroes that change the way the game's played. Like Nagasart changes how you take team fights, how you actually commit for kills. You have heroes like Techies, Wisp that just change. They have these weird concepts that just change the way the game's played. And I feel like being able to do that isn't balanced. How can you balance around that concept?
Yeah, it can be pretty broken at times. Good Glimmer on a Rior. This is his own Glimmer coming out. They're trying to finish Roche. Good EMP. They'll need a BKB on Skimberloo. Did they get the Aegis? They did. And I think they got pretty good fight, actually. Skimberloo, of course, does have his Aegis still. So the Flat Cannon is coming out now. The Song of the Siren, along with the Rocket Barrage, all that stuff doing a lot of work. Yokum's dead. A double kill for RR. Now they've locked down Kezcute. And they've already used 2 buybacks in this fight, but they're still fighting 3 versus 5. And now Fervian has to run away with the Rage on him. Now done. The Dragon Tail comes out. There's nothing they can really do about this. They were just a second too late inside that Roche pit, even if they weren't.
Is that cheese?
Oh, he actually picked up the cheese. I was wondering where it was. And they're going to try to turn this. The Roar comes out onto the... oh, that's just... There's no vision. Good Deafening Blast. Meatball, the Deafening Blast doesn't hit on Skibberloo, though, and that's all the damage coming out. Even if he didn't, he would still be able to just Rocket Barrage and kill everybody. So Fervian's going to fight this 1 versus 4. He does open wounds, and he almost gets GMZ, but it's not enough. And I think that should do it. There is buyback on Fervian, but they don't have the Invoker for 70, so...
Yep, that was still 2 diebacks, right, on the Beastmaster and Invoker, so... This should be game mod unless something miraculous happens, but... Honestly, the lineup from Taskus Titans, they came online super early. I guess it's not a buyback from Lifesteal enough to thwart back
I think they could have gone back in. I'm surprised they did. I guess they were a little bit low on mana and stuff.
They've entered the throw zone.
That's true.
You have to proceed with caution.
There's a sign when you walk up high ground that says throw zone. Be careful.
You've got to be extremely careful.
Yes.
When you have a 20k goal lead and you happen to die in front of the enemy base, you lose so much. You give it all right back away.
Yeah, that would be one of the ways to get back into the game for Boom ID. Probably the only way, actually. I don't know. Going back to the draft, I just think you can't ever give Naga Disruptor to a team. I don't think. Unless you have a good way of dealing with it, which they clearly did not.
Yep. Oh, because you're going to walk up the banner, of course, extremely dead. I was just going to say, when you give away these 2 heroes, pretty much the ball is in their court, or in their hands, right? They set the pace for the game, and you always have to react to their pressure, their threats on the map.
Yeah.
You're playing into their hand every single time.
Yeah, I agree. It's because you can be aggressive with this for Taskus Titans, or you can be defensive. Any fight you take can immediately swing in your favor just with the ability of one R button press. Really two. But the big one is the
team
song.
fight. They have the team fight, the Roshan control, and the hard reset button if anything bad happens.
I think also this game would be a lot easier if they didn't have like an objective taker like DK. They wouldn't have lost as much for Boom ID had there not been a tower pusher like DK or Death Prophet on that team.
Yep, and that's just, goes to show how well these heroes complement the Naga Siren pick, right?
Yeah.
Somebody that can actually force these objectives, because once you do that, the enemy has to react, right? Do they take this fight, do they defend the tower, or do they split push? And typically when you have a hero good at taking objectives, you're able to take that building or Roshan much faster than they'd actually get anything out of the map.
Yeah, it's very true. So just, I think overall, really good drafting from Taskus Titans. You know, they're essentially one fight away from winning this game and going up 1-0 in this 2-game series. Now, Boom ID, a really good Indonesian team, but they've got a lot of work to do, especially in this particular game if they want to get back into it. They'll try to take the Tier 1 tower top, but this is going to be immediately transitioned into a push bottom for the rest of the team.
Radiant's top tower is under
This Beastmaster hero was the most important hero in the entire, on their entire team for the first 10 minutes. They needed him to be, top net worth, phase boost, Shadow Blade, able to just kill anyone on the map with the help of the Sunstrike, but he just wasn't able to get that good of a start.
Yeah, and that's... I mean, think about how many Sunstrike kills they had, especially in the early game. Pretty much none. They had, 1 or 2 actual Sunstrike kills later into the game, and they missed out on the really important ones that they were going for. So... usually when you get level 6 on Beastmaster, you get it before a lot of the other heroes on the map will have it. You immediately just go try to find a kill, get a smoke or something. It did not work out. And you're really missing out a really important part of synergy for Boom ID's lineup with the Invoker, because then the Invoker gets more farm, of course, with the Sunstrike kill. He gets his items earlier. He would have had that BKB and that Aghanim Scepter earlier had he gotten the Sunstrike kills, but...
Yep, he's the moving part that starts everything.
Yeah, so... Pretty tough stuff here for Boom ID. The game is not over yet, but the 20k lead with 2 racks down is pretty brutal. Still no Aegis and Cheese, of course, for the Radiant team. Cheese was picked up by the Lifestealer, used in the fight that they took around Roche. And then, of course, the Aegis was immediately dropped down on Skemberloo, but he's still fine. Other big items coming out, the Mjolnir onto Skemberloo now available, so he already does a lot of damage. He's going to have even more. There's an Aghanim Scepter for Disruptor, so if you don't hit your abilities and your items beforehand, you're going to die, especially the BKB on this Invoker.
Oh, yeah. Blink Dagger, Aghanim Scepter with Dark Sword and Naga, he's going to have a field day.
Yeah, I don't know what the plan... Oh, he went Manta style on Lifestealer, actually. I thought he had an SMY. He actually went full Manta. Just noticed that, which is interesting. Immediately, the surges come out. The song, they're going to initiate. They've got a nice 2-man song, Static Storm. Call down comes in, and of course, without the with the Aghanim Scepter, the Invoker cannot use his BKB, so that'll just end the game right then and there. That's just the game-winning item. They don't expect the Aghanim Scepter to be Disruptor. He blinks in. GG's called. Nice first game from Taskus Titans.
Yep, very well played. They showed a lot of teamwork. Honestly, lineups like these show you how well a team works together, right? Because you have to communicate, you have to channel your spells well together. It's not, I mean, you could think of, when you play a split push lineup, where your big engage is Roar and Sunstrike, right? Pretty much, that's, the only thing you have to communicate in the entire game, Sunstrike, Roar, Sunstrike. Other team, they have to chain all their abilities together, they have to move together properly on the map, actually gank and everything. It's nice to see, Mon. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it comes down, it starts with the draft, and then it just